So first and foremost, thank you all for joining us on this lovely Saturday. I hope where you are, you're keeping warm. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Bihan. I serve as the chair for the Education Committee at SCAGO. I'm also a member of the Board of Directors. And today we're here learning and welcoming a colleague from the YMCA Greater Area of Toronto's Financial Empowerment and Wellbeing Program. Who will be walking us through some tips and I want to say different types of credits and how folks can borrow responsibly and manage their own financial situation accordingly. If you or members of your network would like to refer the information shared in this session, as you just readily seen, it's now being recorded. And a recording of today's session will be posted on our website, https://backslash sicklecelleanemia.ca for viewing at your convenience. And as many of you know, and for those of you who are new, one of our missions at SCAGO is to serve as a conduit for members of our community to not only access evidence-based information with respect to living with sickle cell disease, but also providing up-to-date information like we have prepared for you this morning. And today's information is important because, of course, we recognize that there's a clinical element to living with sickle cell disease, but there's also a social and familial element, and credit being one of the main progenitors of living in a comfortable setting. We want to make sure we provided you some, not only some information, but some tips and equipping you with the necessary knowledge to be able to do so effectively. So in today's session, you'll be hearing from a new colleague, Ms. Bihan Shen, who I will introduce shortly. In the meantime, I just want to share a quick overview of the agenda. As you've been welcomed, I hope you felt welcomed. And acknowledgement is going to follow with a little bit of land acknowledgement, a bit of housekeeping, as we generally do, followed by the presentation from Ms. Bihan Shen. There'll be an opportunity for questions and answers and closing remarks. For those of you who registered in advance day before yesterday, we made a slight update to our registration form. For the purposes of this session, the YMCA being a provincially slash federally funded program or organization is hoping to collect just some demographic information about who's participating in the session. So during Ms. Bihan Shen's presentation, I'll be launching a poll. The poll will consist of 4 questions. It'll be first name, last name, which you would have already submitted, location. We'd love to know where you're joining today's session from. And if you'd be so kind to also share your sex and any other kind of info, there's only those 4 questions, just so we can get a good sideline on who's participating. That'd be greatly appreciated. And of course, the survey is completely optional, but it'd be really helpful to help the YMCA better tailor their products and their presentations. So with that being said, housekeeping, it's a small, intimate group, so feel free to ask questions throughout. In previous sessions, we typically ask folks to hold their questions towards the latter portion of the session, just so we can perhaps get through all the content and maybe answer your question in the presentation itself. But if you feel compelled, please do submit a question through the Q&A or the chat feature, which you'll see at the bottom of your screen. Your microphones have been muted, and for those of you who unmuted them, please do mute them during the duration of the seminar. It does allow for the session to run a bit more smoothly and not disrupt the viewing experience for all other participants. There is a closed captioning option, I believe, if you look at your toolbar in the event you're having problems following along with the audio. And as always, this is a learning experience for all folks. So much as we can keep the discussion on topic as possible, that would be greatly appreciated. And just for you know, SCAGO does reserve the right to pause the session or seek removal of participants who are not abiding by these rules. So I thank you in advance for your understanding and agreement to positive participation. So with that, I want to take a second just to acknowledge the land we're meeting on. I'm currently joining you folks from Ajax, Ontario, which is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Mississaugas of the Credit, adjacent to the Mississaugas Scugog Island First Nation, all in a territory covered by the Williams Treaty. I come to this land as a child of immigrant parents who immigrated to Canada from Jamaica. Really pleased to be able to not only honor the distance they traveled to give me the opportunity to be here and to work and play freely, but also looking forward to spending my time with many folks like yourselves, hoping to remedy the challenges of the system we navigate to allow us all to thrive and survive. So thank you all for appreciating that moment. And now, without further ado, I want to introduce today's speaker. We have joining us Miss Bihan Shen, who will shortly be joining us on camera. Oh, there you are. She's a case manager of the YMCA's Financial Empowerment and Wellbeing Program. She has two years of work experience both in the banking industry at RBC, Royal Bank of Canada, and TD, and she also carries with her a professional certificate in financial service advisory. So without further ado, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. And Bihan, over to you. And in the interim, I will post, that quiz or poll, for folks to submit their demographic information. So Bihan, you should have access to the screen sharing now. Can you hear me, Bihan? You're on mute.
Hello.
Perfect. Over to you.
Okay, let me see. I need to end this poll first, right?
You should have co-hosting privileges now, so you should be able to share your screen.
Okay, let me see. Okay, so we begin our workshop now.
Yes. Perfect.
Oh, okay, good. I would like to share my appreciation to Delaney and SCAGO to give me this opportunity to do this workshop. I'm Bihan Shen. I come from the YMCA of Greater Toronto Financial Empowerment and the Wellbeing Program. I know this is a very long name. You can just call it financial program. And let me see if I can do like this. Okay, good. Okay, let's see this picture first. What can you see from it? You
It's
can
all.
unmute yourself.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
We can see it.
yes.
Okay. We can see there are many industry in Canada. Actually, this is a picture from 2023. It including all the industry in Canada. You can see here, finance, insurance, and the real estate occupy nearly 21% of the all Canadian industry. However, in Canada, as you know, the primary school and the secondary school will never teach finance. If you want to learn finance, you have to go to the university or college to learn. However, then come to a problem. Let's see the tuition of financial program in universities. The upper one is the Ryerson University in Toronto, and the down one is the University of Western Ontario, which is also my home university. You can see the tuition is very high. Maybe you say I don't need a bachelor degree, I only want to learn something about finance. Then we can go to college. Yes, it saves a lot of money, but it's still expensive. And that's why our program come out. Our program will be divided into 4 parts. The first is the financial workshops, like what we do today. The second is a one-to-one client counseling. We will advise and apply for government benefit for you, manage your credit problem and debit, balance income and expenses through planning, also build assets and handle mortgages. The third part is we have free tax clinic during tax season. It means you don't have to hire an accountant. We can do the tax return for you. It will start on February 24, 2025. And we also have a YMCA digital self-learning platform, which including 10 modules of financial learning.
Will return to the Serbia branch.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But it only includes the very simple financial knowledge. So I would still advise you to go to online workshops. And for our program, we require the people who are over 18 years old, and their status should be Canadian citizen, permanent resident, or conversion refugee, and the people who need support in financial situation, or the people who are interested in financial learning. Here you can have a glance of the topics that we will cover in our program, including income, expense, and budget, children and senior benefit, banking, credit and debit management. And this is a topic that we will do it today. And we also have investment, mortgage, and first-time home buyer, insurance, income tax, fraud protection. We also invite the partners from different programs from different companies to do the guest speaker for us. Like in February 18, we will have the file your tax and the GST credit from the CRA. And also, you can also find our financial workshop calendar on our website. I can share this website with you guys. For the workshop that done by the CRA, you can also find in our this financial workshop calendar. So let's go to today's topic, credit and debit management. Let me ask a question. What kind of spender you are? When you see something, you will say, I must have it, or you will think twice before you buy it. You can type in chat or unmute yourself. What kind of spender you are?
I'm the second type of spender.
Oh, so great.
Think
So you
twice.
are a smart spender. Okay, so by the end of this module, you will be able to understand the different types of credit available, their purpose, and how they work, what a credit report is, and how to improve yours, what to do if you run into problem with debit, and the tips on paying off your debit faster. Let's see, what's the advantage of using credit? First, you can achieve your goals sooner. Second, you can build a positive credit history. Third, you pay for unexpected expenses. However, there are also many disadvantages or shortcomings that if you use credit. For example, you need to have a budget for regular repayments. It will increase the cost of debit. Also, it limits the amount of money. And if you don't repay your credit in time, there will have bad credit history. Let me see some, okay. I'm just trying to see if anyone asks question in chat. Okay.
I'll answer for you, Bihan. I'll let you know if questions come up. So you just focus on the presentation.
Okay. For credit options, there are several credit options, and I will talk about the main types in this workshop. First is a personal loan from financial institution, for example, bank and credit unions. And the banks always recommend you to have overdraft protection. We will discuss it later. And we have line of credit. And we also have auto company loan and student loan. Here, I want to ask you a question. Anyone know the difference between line of credit and a loan?
So a line of credit, I'm sorry for jumping in late. A line of credit usually has something backing it up. It has a something that if you don't pay it back, um, there's collateral, whereas a loan may be unsecured, meaning it doesn't have anything backing it up.
Okay, so it's one of them the characteristics. The biggest difference is it line of credit. It gives you a limit. You can use it at any time. However, a loan, one bank issue a loan to you, the interest on that loan will be calculated immediately.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. We will talk about it later. And there are also mortgage, credit card, payday loan, high risk or approved loan, and informal loan. So, okay, someone raise
Yeah.
their hand.
Bihan,
Yeah.
I have a great, actually, on that same note, you made the distinction between a loan and a line of credit. Are you saying that a line of credit, the interest does not accumulate immediately?
Yeah, line of credit, it's a limit. One bank issue it to you. For example, bank give you 20,000
Yeah,
limit. You may not use it until you want it. For example, you see there's a limit of 20,000 and I don't need it. I don't need it now. In the September, I realized I may need to buy a car. Then I want to use those money. Until you buy the car, you borrow from line of credit, then the interest will calculate.
got it.
However, if the bank, for example, now issue you a loan, you need to begin to calculate interest, begin the time when it issued.
Oh, so perfect. Even if you don't use the loan, interest is accumulated immediately. So if you had the whole loan in your bank, you're going to pay interest from day one. Meanwhile, if you have the line of credit and you don't touch it, you only assume interest once you start using the line of credit.
Yes,
Perfect.
you're correct.
Is there a difference in how hard or difficult it is to get? Like, is it okay? It's easier for you to get a line of credit than a loan, or are they both the same?
Usually like this. For actually the process is the same. However, bank nowadays may give more willing to give line of credit because nowadays many people cannot pay back their loan. If, for example, you don't pay back the loan, actually bank losing money. So they would prefer give you line of credit.
Okay.
Yeah, I will talk about it in following part. Okay, good. For the personal loan, first personal loan, it allows you to borrow a fixed amount of money and pay it back over a certain period. Personal loans interest calculate immediately when the loan is issued. You must pay back the full amount, including interest and any applicable fees. You make a regular payment called installment. You may use personal loan for specific purchase, such as home renovation, furniture, and cars. Most personal loan ranges from 100 to 50,000 with a term between 6 and 16 months. Line of credit. Line of credit is a type of loan that lets you borrow money up to preset limit. You may use as little or as much of the funds as you like, up to a specified maximum. You may pay back the money you own at any time. You only pay interest on the money you borrow for every month or every bi-weekly. It's settled by you and the bank. The interest rate on a line of credit is variable with prime rate. You pay interest on the money you borrow from the day you withdraw money until you pay the balance in full. Usually, the higher your credit score, the lower the interest rate on your line of credit will be. Okay, let's talk about auto vehicle loan, which is more common nowadays. There are two types, One is the car loan with dealership. Most dealerships make car loan arrangement for you with a lender. When you visit the dealership, dealers arrange financing for you with a financing division of the car manufacturers or a financial institution such as a bank or union or credit union. An independent finance company, such as the one that specialized in providing car financing. This is a car loan with dealership. Honestly, I would, if you need a car loan, I would recommend you guys go to your car dealer to arrange the car loan, because in banks, bank will give you a car loan just basing on your situation. It means there will be no promotion. However, for the car loan, banks will usually partnership with different car dealer. So those dealers will offer you better promotion and maybe lower rate on your car loan. And there is also car lease. Leasing a car is like a long-term rental. When you lease a car, you make regular payments for the use of car over a set period. Set period is typically 3 to 5 years. You usually make your payments to a bank or a credit union. You aren't buying the car and won't own it when the lease ends. However, you may be able to buy the car at the end of your lease term. If you have any questions, just ask. And we will also introduce the overdraft protection. So what is overdraft protection? Maybe every time when you go to counter, the teller will recommend this to you. However, this sometimes will cost you monthly fee. An overdraft occurs when you don't have enough money in your bank account to cover a payment or withdrawal. Overdraft protection can help you avoid declined transactions, late payment charge, and the non-sufficient fund, NSF fee, because each NSF fee can be around $50. Overdraft protection can be less expensive than some short-term credit option like a payday loan. And overdraft protection usually is $5 per month. However, I also want to mention here, if something like this really happened, around $50, if you meet it for the first time, you can go to the counter, just talk with teller or their managers in a good way, ask them to do one-time exception for you. Normally, if something below $100, even teller has the right, even teller can waive it for you. But you'd better talk with them in a good way and say, I will never make this mistake again, like this. Mortgage actually is a loan used to purchase or maintain a real estate. You can think mortgage is a bigger and longer term loan. The borrower agrees to pay the lender in a series of regular payments divided into principal and interest. The property then serves as collateral to secure the loan. Actually, mortgage is very complex, and we have a workshop in mortgage and first-time home buyer. While this is the only topic that we have 2 hours to conduct to discuss the mortgage. So you may join our workshop in May to talk about mortgage. Let's talk about a credit card more. A credit card allows cardholder to borrow funds from banks to pay for goods and services with merchants that accept cards for payment. Your credit limit is the maximum total amount you can spend. As you pay down your balance, you have access to more credit. Credit card issuer give a grace period to pay for your previous month's purchase without interest. You will pay interest if you don't pay your credit card balance in full by the due date. Then this is a serious topic. Payday loan. why our program come out is because during the pandemic time, so many people borrow the payday loan and made themselves' life into a terrible situation. So what is payday loan? It is a small value loan taken out for a short time, typically until your next payday, loaned at a retail store or online, the most expensive form of consumer loan in Ontario, and also an unsecured loan. You cannot put any property as collateral or guarantee for the loan. You need to provide the lender with a post-dated check or a pre-authorized debit. Let me give you an example of it. Payday loan has a high risk of losing money. However, payday loan is legal. It's not illegal, it's legal. Because you would sign the contract with the payday loan company, and then you need to pay back money according to the law. For example, if you borrow $300 for 2 weeks, one payday loan will cost you $45 for each. However, credit card, even it's the fee with interest at 23%, it may only cost $6.15 if you pay the loan late. Let's say if 2 loans of 300 means 600, then the payday loan will cost you $90. If it's 4 loans, let's say 1,200, then the payday loan will cost you $180. And 6 loans, it means 1,800. Then the payday loan will cost you 217. You should know it is only for 2 weeks. If you cannot make up those money to the payday loan company, it will be like more and more. And sometimes it will be endless. Although payday loan is very scary, there are something more scary called informal loan. It is a loan that has the opposite characteristic of all formal loans. That is to say, a loan that is not certified by law. If you need urgent money, you see some advertisement posted on the fence, electronic posts, or words of mouth, or is a loan among new friends from various internet media, social media that doesn't have legal certification. If you see some old American movies or even some old Asian movies, you may find someone borrow from the informal loan, and finally they are like a hand be cut, or they are beaten by some people. This is all because of the informal loan. So we usually say 3 things you cannot be touched: job, gambling, and informal loan. Okay. So there are some tips for managing debit. Let's see a video. It's a very old and classic video. Here.
Bihan, we can't hear the audio. Did you share video with share screen with audio?
Can you hear it?
No, we can't hear it.
Okay.
Usually when you click share screen, there's a little button. You can share video with share screen with audio.
Share screen with audio. Let me see. Okay. Video.
It'll say share sound on the right-hand side. Underneath the layouts, you'll see it say share sound.
Just give me one moment.
No problem.
Share. Oh, sorry, I cannot find it.
Oh, do you want to send me the link and I could share it for you?
Yeah, I can.
Perfect.
I can put it in the chat actually.
Perfect.
And please turn on the subtitle.
Yes, will do.
Thank you.
Borrowing money can help us reach some of our personal and pricey ambitions, whether it is to get additional training or education, buy a house, start a business, or just help cover some daily expenses. And while some debt can help us realize our goals, managing debt unwisely can cause financial problems and also unwanted stress.
I have student loans and I have my credit cards ever since I've got it, it's always been at its limit.
If becoming too far in debt, and especially with credit card debt, the payoff time can be enormous sometimes.
You can go over your limit or over your head, and in a certain emergency, you cannot cover them.
I believe that a house and a car are required purchases of life, and I'm okay with paying that consistently on a monthly basis.
If you're going into debt in order to achieve a plan to where it's going to help you succeed to make a good amount of money so you can pay off the debt and live, then it's suitable. But if you're going to debt spending money that you don't have, then I don't think that's suitable.
Here are some interesting facts about debt in Canada. Canadian households owed $1.47 for every dollar they earned in 2010, up from $1.16 in 2005. The average Canadian has several credit cards and loans, such as car loans, furniture loans, student loans, and mortgages. And perhaps most importantly, 1 in 3 credit card users don't pay their balance off in full each month. Clearly, many Canadians have problems with debt. So what is the best way to handle debt? Let's start with the basics. When you borrow money, you must repay the principal, the amount you borrowed, plus interest. You may also be charged service costs or fees for late or extra payments. The type of loan you receive, the rate of interest, and the way the interest is compounded will all affect the total amount you have to repay. The annual percentage rate, APR, is the actual rate of interest charged on a loan each year, including all service costs and fees. Use the APR to compare rates from one loan to another. Here are some ideas to keep your costs down so that you can keep your debts under control. Try not to borrow more than you need. Shop around to get the best terms for your loan. Research the complete cost of the loan, including all fees, interest charges, and penalties, so that you can choose a lender with the best terms. Make your payments in full and on time to avoid late fees. Pay down your debt quickly and pay as much as possible against the loans with the highest interest rates first. Sometimes, in spite of your best efforts to control your borrowing, your debt gets out of control. How do you know if you have a debt problem? Here are some symptoms. You borrow to pay for your daily living expenses. You miss payments or due dates. You're near the credit limit on most of your loans. You use one loan to pay another. You borrow when you know you can't afford the payments. If you run into serious debt problems, don't panic. You still have options. Start by seeking help as soon as you recognize the problem. Contact your creditors. If you show them that you intend to repay the debt, they will sometimes work out a modified payment plan that will make it easier for you to pay it off. You might be able to consolidate loans and credit cards into one manageable monthly payment at a relatively low interest rate. You can also talk to trusted financial professionals, such as credit counselors. They can help you plan the best strategy for paying off your debt. There are credit counselors that are not for profit and will provide advice at no cost. Managing your debt wisely is the best way to ensure that you pay reasonable borrowing costs and that the money you borrow helps you achieve your goals. To build your financial knowledge, go to your financial toolkit at itpaystoknow.gc.ca.
Yeah. Otherwise, they have other topics. Thank you.
No problem.
Let's see the next. Okay, let's talk about the cost of borrowing. How much total interest will I pay? Are there any fees or extra charges? Are there any other costs, including loan insurance? Tips to keep borrowing costs down. First, don't borrow more than you need to. Second, research the complete costs of loan, including all fees and interest charges. Make your payments in full and on time. Find out whether the loan can be repaid at any time. Pay down your debit quickly, but find out if there is a penalty to increase your repayment. This is happened in the mortgage because, for example, if you sign a contract with the bank that you will pay this mortgage like in 25 years, this amortization. However, you set up the terms of 5 years. Within these 5 years, you can do the repayment, you can do double payment. However, if you want to pay off your debit within these 5 years, there will be a huge penalty on it. And also, when you are buying something on credit, find out if there is any discount on the price if you pay cash instead. So, what's our rights and responsibility when we borrow money from bank or union or the credit union? The right for us is that lenders, it means those banks and the credit union, must provide you with the detailed information. And you are often entitled to repay the bank loan before it comes due without penalty. You are not required to maintain a minimum credit balance unless you agree to do so. Federal regulated financial institutions must give you a loan agreement, and you need to read this agreement very carefully. Your responsibility: repay all debit in full and on time. Don't borrow more than you can repay. Understand your loan agreement before you sign it. Read your account statement. Keep records in case questions arise. So, what to know before you sign a loan agreement? First, the annual interest rate. Second, how the interest is calculated. And the grace period, if any. Anyone know what is the grace period? If not, I can explain it.
Is it the period of time before you owe any interest? So say if I take out a loan and if I pay it off in 30 days, I don't owe the interest on it.
Okay. If you borrow a loan, it may cost interest immediately, but you are right. The grace period is, for example, if you have a credit card, I use this credit card. In this month, if I pay back those money I borrowed in time, I do not be charged any interest. So you are actually right. Thank you very much. And are any other charges or fees that apply? This is also happened. For example, there are other charges means if you repay your mortgage, repay your loan, you want to pay it off earlier, will there be any penalties? Or otherwise, if you have a credit card, you want to have a second card for your children, or you want to have a second card for your parents, will there be any other fees? This is also you need to pay attention when you sign the loan agreement. And how often you will receive your statement. The date on or after which interest starts being charged. Your minimum monthly payment or how this payment is calculated. And whether the loan can be prepaid at any time and if there are charges to do so. Let's ask a question. What's the difference between a credit card and a debit card?
This one I know.
Yeah.
Debit card is essentially access to funds in your own personal bank account. Credit card, you're using the creditor's money, not your own.
Yes, perfect. So credit cards offer great convenience, avoid carrying large amount of cash, participate in rewards programs. Like for example, if you use a credit card, we use Costco for example, they have MasterCard. If you use it, they will give you cash back. And for other, like let's see, for Visa card, they will usually, if you use it, you have reward on it. And at the end of each year, you can use those rewards to exchange gift card from the bank. So before it, I want to mention some things that I found many people feel confused. First, Visa. Second, Master. These two, they are not just a credit card. They are a company's name. So there has Visa Debit. It means your debit card. However, Visa Credit is a credit card. Same as Master. Master has Master Debit. Master Debit is your debit card, while Master Credit is a credit card. And what happened is, let me use two companies, for example. The Costco, they only has a partnership cooperation with Master company. So they will allow Master Debit, Master Credit. If you bring your Visa card to there, it cannot be used. And I'm not sure for this year, but till the last year, the Uber company, they have the cooperation with Visa. So they do not take Master. If you use Master Debit, Master Credit, Uber cannot be used. This is the company's cooperation. It's not about debit or credit. Okay, good. So how the credit card works. First, you purchase items, you purchase grocery with your credit card. Then by the end of month, you receive the bill. You need to pay it before the due date. If you don't pay it, then interest come out. The benefit and risks of using credit cards. The benefits is also obvious. It lets you borrow money instantly to make purchases. It allows you to carry less cash, especially nowadays. There are so many people who may under a bad situation. They need cash. They may rob you like this, but credit cards, they can do nothing. And let you get cash advance. It will be expensive. Let me explain two things. What is cash advance? Cash advance means, for example, you go to a park. They hold an event. They do not take a credit card. They do not take debit card. If you want to buy the ticket, you have to use cash. We say cash for $20. The cash for $20 is like this. You only hold your credit card. You don't have your debit card. Then you go to an ATM machine. Say, I want a cash advance. when you sign your loan agreement, if you forget to pay your car, their rate may be this one. However, for cash advance, normally 3.77, and this is immediately. Therefore, if you want to withdraw cash from your credit card, you need to think twice. And also, I recommend you guys also have like a $10 or $20 cash in your pocket in case something happens. Okay, let's purchase in 1 month statement. Yeah.
One quick question. Could you show folks how much that $20 cash advance would actually cost you?
Oh, this need to do a calculation.
Oh, I guess so. So you basically it'll be 24% of the $20 it will charge you immediately.
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking about $5 to $6 basically.
The thing is, this 23.99%, it's for a month. So
Okay.
you can divide them into different parts, into how many days you use and calculate on it.
Got it.
And honestly, if those things happened, you remember to pay it back the next day, it will be better.
Okay, so if you
But
borrow,
we also once have some case, the person has already run out of all the money, and the $2,000 is his credit limit. He withdraw those amount to pay his rental fee. Then it may be 1 month he cannot make it up, and then become very larger debit. But even like this, it's still better than the payday loan.
still
Because
better than
payday loan
that.
is crazy. Yeah.
Okay, so even if you do a cash advance on your credit card for $2,000, you can't pay it until the end of the month. It's still better to do that than it is going at a payday loan.
Yes.
Got it.
And the credit card helps you establish credit history and earn a good credit score. Okay, let's see the last sentence. Let's purchase in 1 monthly statement. Actually, this is a very good thing because even, for example, myself, I go to some store, go to different supermarket, I will forget what I buy. And finally, I found where my money goes. However, for a credit card, you can see your monthly statement. You can see it one by one, sentence by sentence. And this is good for you in the future to do a budget. And also, it provides a free form of credit if you pay the balance in full and on time. Provides a convenient payment method for purchase made on the internet over the telephone. And may offer extended warranty and purchase protection benefit on most credit card purchase, as well as other rewards and benefit. In some banks, if you have their company, if you have their bank's credit card, they will also include travel insurance. This means if you travel outside of country within 15 days, you don't have to buy the travel insurance. Your car already guaranteeing some insurance on it. But of course, there are risks. It can allow you to build up more debit than you can handle. Just like the last example, if you really lack of money, you have 2,000 credit, then you withdraw it as cash and pay your rental fee. But if you cannot make it up for 1 month, 2 months, it will be more debit. And if you don't pay your credit card in time, it can damage your credit score. And sometimes it costs more than some other form of credit. This means like this. Let me show you something is for line of credit. In banks, they will also write RCL. This rate is always prime rate plus around 3% or 4% or 5%. It means, for example, nowadays prime rate is around 4. And the maximum, say, +3, +4, +5. Let's see, the maximum is 9%. This is for line of credit. However, for credit card, nowadays, it's always begin with 21.99. There is a time is 19.99, but nowadays it's inflation become 21.99 for a credit card. And if you think 20.99 still okay, let's see what is mortgage. While the mortgage rate, usually prime rate minus around 1%. So compare with all the things, you may feel like a mortgage is the cheapest loan. And that's why many people, when they mortgage out money, they may prefer to have a larger amount in case some other things happen. But be careful with the credit card and pay it in time. Okay, how to choose a credit card? The first is the interest rate. Second is additional fees and cost. For example, annual card fees. Every bank has a free credit card as long as you are willing to ask. However, because I can say it very directly, every banker in a bank, they have a sales target to sell out credit card with annual card fees. So it is common they will introduce some credit card with annual fees. And you should also understand, just if you don't want to pay those fees, you have two choices. First, say to them directly, I want a free credit card. Second, ask them to do a 1-year waive fee for you. This is two options for you. Like if you don't want to pay the credit card fees. And remember, when it's near to 1 year, just cancel that card and then there will be you can enjoy the free card for 1 year. But honestly, if you cancel card, it will also influence a little about your credit report, but it's not a very big deal. Just a small decrease on your credit score. And you can make it up later, no worries. And the annual card fee for an additional card, like a card for your wife, for your husband, for your children, for your parents. Usually it happens on children. Because what happens is that if you have additional card for your child, then your child in school, like in university or in college, use the money every day or say use money not wisely, you can always observe it on your statement. Then you can call your children what happened with you, why you waste so much money. It is many parents choose it. And the fees for cash advance. Each card for the cash advance fee may be a little different, but it's still higher than normal. And the foreign currency conversion charges. This happened is normally, if I remember well, 2.5%. If you want to use, because for credit card, you can use in any country as long as they accept a credit card, as long as they are global financial system. They are in global financial system. If you go to USA, you go to USA to use your credit card, they will charge you 2.5% for each transaction, the money you spend in. For example, if you want to buy something for $100, then it means the transaction fee is $2.5. Okay, and the charges for going over your credit limit. And also there are fees for maintaining an inactive account. Here I also want to let you pay attention. Normally, if you don't use a card for more than 6 months, this account will be inactive. And if it's inactive for 2 years, it canceled by itself. And for the interest increase for missed payment, this is very common. Okay. So what a credit report is and how to improve use. Here I can share those links with you guys. Sorry. Here. I share those links in the chat. You can go to those places to find your credit report.
And this is all free of charge, Bihan?
They are all free, no worries. And the easiest way is to go to online banking to check your credit score. And I would like to share an experience that I made before for applying for credit card. Because like these two companies, Equifax and the TransUnion, if you apply for credit card, you didn't pay tax before, there usually happen one thing. Someone with the same name, your credit report will be mixed. It means if you didn't pay tax before, then you submit a credit card application. Sometimes it will jump out a credit report for other person who have the same name as yours. In this case, you need to contact set branch manager to ask how to deal with this problem. And yourself need to call the TransUnion by yourself. It will be better for you call, because once I do it for my client, I wait in line for more than 30 minutes. What happened is that they say I cannot represent my client. You have to ask your client call by himself. So in this case, I would recommend you guys, if when you apply for the credit card, your banking advisor say to you there is a wrong credit report, just ask her to contact a branch manager, see what we can do. We can do together, and yourself need to contact the TransUnion to explain what's my SIN number is. I didn't report tax because of blah, 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 like those. And so easiest way for you is go to online banking and then check your credit score. And also, if you can pay the tax in time, otherwise we'll have many problems. Okay, how to improve credit health? This one, first, pay bills on time. If you can not pay in full, be sure to make the minimum payment. When you receive your bill, you can see it will let you choose pay the minimum payment or the pay in full. Although you pay the minimum payment will still cost interest on the rest part, but it will not influence your credit report. Second, watch your credit card balance. Make sure you are not using too much of your available credit. Third, don't mindlessly open your new credit card accounts. If you apply for a new credit card, make sure you don't do so too frequently. This behavior may look irresponsible to the creditors. And fourth, alert banks and card companies when you move. You don't want to see your bills have gone unpaid because mail didn't go to the right address. The fifth, check your accounts online. There is no reason to wait for bills to come in mail. You should make sure payments are clearly and the cards are being kept current. 6. Pay off delinquent bills. Paying down delinquent account won't remove missed payments from your report, but it can make you look better to the creditors like banks and the TransUnion. Also, look for the incurrency. Sometimes information reported to the credit reporting agencies isn't quite right or is incomplete. CAR is also something happened is someone may use your credit. It happened. Someone may also put a fraud on your mortgage, put a fraud on your line of credit. If this happened, first call the police. Then use the police report to talk with the bank and the credit union. Otherwise, it will be a very big problem because those fraudsters will always use your name, use your credit, and influence your life. So, what to do if you are a victim of debit or credit fraud? You need to do all of those. First, report immediately. Second, it is a must. Contact your local police. Third, start a writing log. This means before you go to you go contact with bank or credit union, you need to write things what happened down. If you go to a bank, just say I meet a fraud, they just started to writing something for you. And if you cannot describe very well, it will delay their investigation, which may cause bigger problem to you. And also contact a credit bureau. The last one is contact the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center. Although they may not finally help you trace back some money or help you make your credit report become better. But as long as you contact the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center, you can help other people who do not meet the similar fraud. So ways to avoid debit problems. Here are some tips to help you. Don't be in the trouble of meeting debit. First, leave your credit cards at home. Second, decreases the credit limit on your credit card. But this one you should be a little pay little attention on it. Once you decreased your credit limit, if your situation become worse, for example, if you decrease the credit limit this year, next year the economic is not good and you'll be laid off, you want to increase your credit limit, it will be difficult to increase again. So for the second method, be careful about it. But if it is for your children's card, you can decrease it, no worries. And set up automatic bill payment with your financial institution. And avoid impulse buying. Avoid buy now, pay later offer, and keep track of your expenses. This means you need to learn how to make a budget. There are several secrets to paying off your debit faster. I will share this link with Dylan. Okay, let me see how to do it. I put it in the chart. The title, please.
Well, hey, you guys. So if you are in the process of paying off debts, do you ever wish you could just go faster? Well, today I'm going to share 7 secrets that could speed you up when it comes to this process. So be sure to stick around till the end so you can let me know which tip has worked best for you, which tip you want to try next, or maybe even a tip we didn't cover here, because I always love hearing you guys and the progress that you're making. All right, the first secret to paying off debt is strictly relational. So this may require drawing a couple of boundaries, maybe with friends or family who are currently in your life, and also bringing some additional voices that you need to hear more from. And that is because you want to surround yourself with positive people. When you were in middle school, you probably heard an adult in your life saying, you are who your friends are. I know my parents always said that. And listen, there's a truth to that. If you want to do something, when you're around people who are doing it, they're naturally going to encourage you. So if there's somebody that's always talking you in to spend more money, or like, oh my God, the budget is so stupid, don't take yourself so seriously, or they're unsupportive, or they're skeptical when it comes to the way you view money, you really want to kind of be aware of that, you guys, because it does affect you. And again, if there are comparison traps that you're constantly falling into, there may be time just to create a little bit of distance from them, just to say, hey, I don't know if we can go hang out with that couple because all they want to do is go to 5-star restaurants, and we're not doing that, right? So there's going to have to be a conversation, not necessarily with that person, but definitely with yourself. And if you're married, with your spouse, to say, hey, what does our relationships look like in our life? I'm not saying you can never hang out with someone that doesn't handle money the way you do. But again, the power of encouragement is so real. The second secret to paying off debt faster is a little bit more tactical. And this is something that I get a good amount of pushback on, because it could feel like you're taking actually a step back. But I promise, when you take everything into account, and after doing this for years and years, you are better off in the long run. And that is pausing investing while you pay off debts. And a lot of people hate this because they're like, oh my gosh, I'm losing so much time. But here's the deal. If you are investing even at all, it's usually at a smaller percentage. Maybe you're going up to the match in your 401k, but you're not putting a ton there because realistically, if you have a lot of debt, you're not going to have a ton of margin to invest anyways. But we find people focus on getting out of debt fast, and they, again, have one goal in mind, and that is becoming debt-free. And once that happens, it frees up so much income to be able to invest even more than you would have in the process. So you want to invest 15% of your income into retirement once you pay off debt, but pause that investing for now until you are debt-free. The third secret to paying off debt is an oldie but a goodie, and this is a tip you've probably heard before, but it's important to revisit. If you have been working the baby steps for any amount of time, then you probably did this at the beginning, but I bet you have more to work with when you think outside the box, and that is selling your stuff. Okay, if you can sell stuff around your house, things that maybe your kids have outgrown when it comes to furniture or toys, or even look around your house and be like, oh my gosh, there are 3 TVs in here that we never turn on. Whatever it is, sell stuff, okay? And this could be on Facebook Marketplace. This could be on Craigslist. I don't care where it is, but if you're able to sell things around your house that you're not using, you will get cash and be able to put towards getting out of debt. So again, look around your house and just say, hey, what's the crap that we don't use? And it's amazing how people will buy it and you get some cash. All right, my fourth secret for ditching debt fast is another tip that maybe you've already considered, but one that you may need to pivot to really maximize its impact. And this is something that will bring in more income, which is a huge part of getting out of debt fast, and that is getting a side hustle. So delivering food, working as a hostess at a great restaurant on weeknights, or turning your hobby into income like photography or music lessons, sewing lessons, freelance hair and makeup, whatever it is, the possibilities are endless. If you can bring in more cash, it's going to help you get out of debt that much faster. I mean, I've talked to people, you guys, that are making $1,000, $1,500 to $3,000 extra a month while doing this. And I understand that, working a side hustle, it is tough, right? It feels like time, there's not even that much in a day, and you're exhausted, all the things. It is so true. So this is not something you're going to do forever. But during the season of getting out of debt, if you can up that income, it's going to be really lucrative, and it's going to boost your confidence, and you're going to be able to throw it at your debt and get out of debt that much faster. Number 5 is a tough one since we are heading into spring and summer, but it could literally save you thousands of dollars. And that is to skip the vacation. I know. I mean, it hurts. It is so hard to say that, but you could literally save thousands of dollars if you do this, you guys. I'm telling you, it is amazing how much money we end up spending on travel. And again, I'm not saying you can't travel ever again, because the key here is to live like no one else, so later you can live and give like no one else. And for the time period while you're getting out of debt, if you're like half in, half out, it's going to take you forever to pay off that $20,000 in student loans that are left, okay? But if you just say, hey, you know what? We're going all in. We're cutting everything, including our vacation for the summer or the spring break, and we're going to put it towards the debts. You're going to get out of debt that much faster, and it's going to free up so much of your income, so then you actually can go on a great vacation later, which is fantastic. So just think of everything you can do if you didn't have debt, and that includes some great vacations later in life. But again, cutting the travel for the season, it is worth it. Okay, I know I've been talking about some of the things that just like aren't forever and it's just for a season, but my sixth secret to paying off debt fast actually has a concrete time limit. So you're going to do this for a month, okay? For 1 month. I mean, how hard can it be? You can do anything for a month. And that is to do a no spend challenge. Yep, tip number 6. And this is a hard one, but here's what I recommend. No eating out, no delivery meals, no streaming services, no new clothes. Anything non-essential you are not buying, okay? I mean, just all the extra things that we do around our lives, cut it all for 1 month. And you will be amazed how much you save, even just on the food category. When you say, I'm gonna cook at home for 4 weeks and we're not eating out, you can save so much cash. So be sure to let me know in the comments how much you and your family have been able to save, because spoiler alert, if you've got kids, I bet it's gonna be hundreds of dollars. And all right, my 7th secret to paying off debt faster may sound a little bit boring, but it's definitely one of the most impactful things you can do. If you love to nerd out on numbers or you love a good spreadsheet, this tip is for you. And that is to make a budget. Yeah. Now, if you've already done a budget, maybe it's revamping your current budget. So if you have not used Every Dollar, make sure to download that ASAP, because Every Dollar is one of the best things that you can do when it comes to your budget, but also looking at your life. Because this is what I love about budgeting. You are able to see facts, real numbers of your life right there. And you're going to be able to delete some of these categories. You're like, we don't need it. We don't need it, while you're getting out of debt. And again, you can trim things down. You can look at other categories that you're going to completely eliminate for the month, but you actually see the numbers that are going on. And so it's just so encouraging when you actually see things happening in real time. And that's what a budget does. Don't do a budget in your head and have, like these ideas running around. But when you actually say, okay, I'm not going to get my hair done this month, and you delete that, could be hundreds of dollars for some of us. That goes to your debt. I mean, like, you actually are seeing in real time money moving around, and that is what is so exciting. And again, it's temporary, because then if you imagine all of the debt payments in your budget, if those were all gone and that was all at the top of your budget for you to be able to give or save or invest or spend, that's exciting too. So it allows you to dream, but it also gives you reality of today. And if you're already a budgeting pro, then I want you to find out maybe if you're getting some things wrong when it comes to budgeting. So if that's the case, I've linked that video below. So let me know in the comments if you are in the clear, because it is key. So you guys, all of you on your debt-free journey, we are here cheering you on. You can do this. Remember, it's temporary. It is temporary, but the deeper you sacrifice, the faster you're going to get out of debt. So remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.
No worries. Just to close it. Thank you. Let's continue. So,
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay. Is it advisable to use your debit card more than your credit card? Because I heard when you said if you can leave your credit card at home, is it a good idea to use your debit more than your credit card for your regular purchase, like daily purchase?
The thing is like this. If you feel yourself can control by yourself, like I just buy those things, I don't buy much, then use credit card will be better, because credit card usually has cashback, usually has rewards. However, if you use your credit card, you think, for example, I go to Yorkdale, I will always buy something that not in my budget, or something very expensive. And in the future, I feel regret about it. I shouldn't buy it. In this case, if you cannot control yourself very well, just put the credit card at home and use debit card.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. And here are some action plan, but below it, we would like to talk about the debit danger signal and how to take in control of your debit. If you find you use your credit card as a necessity instead of convenience, if you find you borrow to pay for your daily living expenses, like using the line of credit to pay the credit card or using the credit card to pay your rental. If those things happened and if you miss payments or due dates, or if you are near the credit limit on most of your cards. This means if you have several credit cards from different banks, you near the credit limit on each of them. And if you borrow from one card to pay another, if you borrow when you know you can't afford the payment, and your debit grow monthly after monthly, then they are all debit danger signals. If you meet one of those things, you need to pay very, very much attention when using your credit card, when using your credit. It is a time to transfer your credit card to the debit card. So how to take in control of your debit? Do a monthly budget and determine how much debit you can pay off each month. Cut back on your expenses. Pay off your highest interest rate debit first. Switch to a less expensive credit cards. Contact your creditor to negotiate better repayment terms. Seek credit counseling. And get a consolidation loan. And here, if anyone knows what is a consolidation loan, if not, I can explain it to you. Okay, I can say it.
I don't know.
Okay, no worries. Consolidation loan is usually happened nowadays. It means, for example, I have a line of credit. Of 30,000, and the rate we say it's prime rate plus 4, so equal to 8%. This is my line of credit, and I have a car loan, and my car loan rate, let's say also 7%. Then I have a credit card. My credit card one. Maybe I don't use car loan here. Car loan will confuse you. So let's say I have a credit card one. The limit is 5,000. The rate is 21.99. I also has another loan. Let's say the loan for my the set loan. Let's say set rate. This loan has 20,000, while the rate is P plus 3. So 7%. I also has a credit card 2. Credit card 2. I have credit card 2. I have 10,000 limit. The rate is 22, blah, blah. Like this. And one day, the thing happened to me is that I lose my job. And my family don't support me. I need money to pay the daily bills. I need money to pay off many rental like those. Then I used all of those limit. I used so many money, but I cannot pay it all together. It means I'm already don't have ability to pay the principal plus interest. So what happened is that if there is any way I can survive on this society with the possibility to paying less, I go to bank. I called Shen. Not called Shen. I just asked the banking advisor if I can get a association loan. Then when the banker helped me apply, they submit my information in bank system, all my debit from different banks, from different bank credit card, from different places, long line of credit will be all there. They will give me a loan. The loan credit limit is 30,000 plus 5,000 plus 20,000 plus 10,000. Altogether become, let me counting together, okay? Around this amount. Then they gave me a rate. This rate must be higher than those, but will be lower than the high one. So they may give me a rate of 11%. After I get a consolidation loan, I don't need to think about other things because those are all disappeared. The only thing left is this consolidation loan. With this limit, this rate, and each month or bi-weekly, I pay back this loan. This is called consolidation loan. The rate will be less than the highest one, and every month, my burden become less. Understand? Okay, if you have any question, just ask. Okay. And trying to use a saving to pay off debit. Okay, that's all for today. And we have a tax clinic since February 24. You can book an appointment with me if you want to. I also left my email here. So let me first ask, do you have any question regarding to today's workshop? I can answer you now. Also, if you meet anything that you in bank or in other financial situation, I can answer you here.
I have a question.
Yes.
So in an effort to pay off my credit card, right? I'm no longer using it, except that prior to that, I had some pre-authorized payments. So they're still going through monthly. Would that credit card be considered inactive or it is active because of the pre-authorized payments?
Okay, for pre-authorized payment, they are bills from other companies. If this credit card be canceled, those companies cannot withdraw money from that credit card. So it will not influence your credit report. No, will not influence the credit card. However, because this is under your name, you need to pay for those bills. So those companies, their internal system find it, they cannot withdraw from your account. They will directly regard you didn't pay that bill. In this way, they influence your credit report. It's nothing about the credit card. It's the whole credit system. Because, for example, next time, if you didn't, for those pre-authorized payment, you didn't pay it in time, Then what will happen is next time when you apply for mortgage, apply for line of credit, apply for credit card, your information be typed in the system, or your formal. When you missed your due date, when you didn't pay, it will all show in the system.
So what I'm saying, the bills are being paid. I'm just not physically using my card. So I used to use my card plus pay those bills. I'm now just paying those bills. I don't want to be doing like free and or unplanned spending. So I'm not using my credit card anymore for those things. Is it still considered active because of those payments that are going through every month, that are being paid every month, while I pay on my credit card to lower or to pay it off? That is the question.
Say the credit card has been canceled or not? Already canceled or not?
It is not canceled.
Not canceled.
I'm just not using it like I used to. I'm just using it for pre-authorized payments and nothing else. Not go to the store, I see something I like, I'm gonna get it. No, I'm not doing that anymore. But I'm still paying my other bills through it. And I just want to know if that is considered active, because something was mentioned earlier about a credit card being inactive.
Yeah, if there is a pre-authorized payment go through it, it will be regarded as active.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, any more questions?
I have one question, Bihan.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, folks refer to good credit, but what is good credit, or what's a good credit score?
Okay, let
and
me
what's a low
show
credit
you
score?
some
Yeah.
picture. Okay. Let me open this one for you, then you can understand better. Here, let's see this picture. For credit score range, if you are between 780 to 850, it will be excellent. The higher score, the better your credit. The lower score, the worse your credit. And what will it influence is that it's also writing here. For example, if you apply for mortgage while your credit score is very low, it is very difficult for you. Many people go to payday loan instead because those places, they do not have very strict rules for credit score. For example, they see your credit score is below 580, they will still lending you money. But if you are in this place, if you go to bank, they may think twice to give you money.
So on that note, what credit score is usually the lowest you can go to a bank and receive a mortgage for?
Honestly, if I'm still in bank, I will tell you it's case by case. But if it's under this one,
you can't get a mortgage.
Highly potential cannot.
Oh, okay.
Also depend on case by case. Maybe he meets some problem, or maybe he meet a fraud. This is another story.
Got it.
Usually it's below that one.
And then one thing, when you mentioned being responsible, paying your bills on time, can you ever raise your 580 back to a 780 in terms of the score?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. As long as you're like, for example, you never pay your bill in time, and later, after you have paid your bill in time for after 6 months, your score will be upper.
Oh, like a
Yeah.
significant bump, like a 40-point bump kind of thing.
Yeah, your score will be upper if you do things well.
Awesome.
Yeah. Otherwise, who wants to feel here, he can never be stand up. It's not good.
Got it.
Yeah.
So the main thing is you don't need to basically show good behavior for 6 or like for 10 years. You just need to show good behavior for a year and you'll see a significant increase.
Yeah, it will be upper, but it will not like from here immediately go here.
No.
But it will step by step.
Got it. Okay. Good to know.
Okay.
Any more questions, folks? Okay, I'm not seeing any more questions. Thank you so much, Bihan, for that very
Thank you so much for
comprehensive
this
presentation.
opportunity.
No, we appreciate you. We appreciate the YMCA for sharing your Saturday afternoon with us. Folks, as mentioned, her email is captured in the chat. Should you want to take advantage of the YMCA's further programming and offerings in and around tax filing and other kind of financial and credit modules like this one, please feel free to connect with Bihan. Also, you can let us know. We can make that connection for you. Before you leave, there will be a end of session survey just to capture any of your feedback about today's module. And Bihan, once again, I'll send you the information that we collected from folks who submitted. Otherwise, thank you all for your participation today. And thank you so much for also spending your Saturday with us. With that, sorry, I'm just looking for the poll. Sorry, if you give me 1 second. It's just a survey that more or less captures your insights about sessions like today, any other additional questions you may have for us, and how we can continue to offer you a wealth of information. Bear with me for 1 second, all of these folks. There it is. Okay. Once I've ended the meeting, it'll populate for you folks to submit your responses. Sorry, go ahead, Anna.
Oh, I was gonna say, so you did say you offer tax services as well?
Yes. We offer tax for PR, citizen, and the refugees, but they may need to be low income.
Beautiful. Okay. Once again, thank you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of Saturday. Thank you so much, Ms. Bihan, for taking your time with us.
Nice day.
And we'll be in touch soon, folks. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.